reviews CRC SRE Shillong today. Meghalaya Police expands its K9 unit from 7 to 37 dogs under the Dream Mission. Most Reverend Leopoldo Girelli Apostolic Nuncio makes a historic first visit to Garo Hills. Prime Minister Narendra Modi unveils mega development projects worth over 2,700 crore rupees in Puducherry. And India issues an advisory for nationals in Lebanon, seafarers amid regional tensions. First, let's look at the local news. Dr. Virendra Kumar, Union Minister for Social Justice and Empowerment, began his 3-day official visit to Meghalaya by visiting the Composite Regional Centre for Skill Development, Rehabilitation and Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, Shillong today. During the visit, he inspected facilities, interacted with beneficiaries and staff, and reviewed the centre's initiatives for skill development and rehabilitation of Divyangjan. The minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to strengthening rehabilitation services and ensuring equal opportunities for persons with disabilities in the region.
ISL Master Trainer, ISL Instructor, ISL...
देश के पंतप्रधान आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी के मन में डिसेबल्ड पर्सन के प्रति हमेशा ही एक संवेदनशीलता का भाव रहा है और 2014 के बाद पहली बार देश के किसी प्रधानमंत्री ने डिसेबल्ड पर्सन के लिए दिव्यांगता शब्द से संबोधन किया था। उसके पहले अलग अलग तरह के शब्दों से संबोधित किया जाता था, उनको हे दृष्टि से देखा जाता था, लेकिन सम्मानित प्रधानमंत्री जी के द्वारा जब दिव्यांगता शब्द उनको दिया गया, हमारे दिव्यांगजनों के मन में एक ऊर्जा का उत्साह का भाव पैदा हुआ।
Deputy Chief Minister Preston Tinsong on Saturday hailed Meghalaya Police's K9 unit as a vital pillar of the state's security during an induction and retirement parade. He noted that the unit has grown from 7 to 37 dogs under the Dream Mission, including trackers, narcotics detectors, explosive detectors and assault dogs. The squad has played a key role in detecting explosives in Garo Hills and seizing heroin worth 5 crore rupees in Rebhoy in 2023, besides major recoveries in Shillong this year. Director General of Police Idashisha Nongrang announced the retirement of 3 dogs after over 30 years of combined service and the induction of 24 new dogs.
And we can as well see that he has identified K9 Liquor and K9 Cargo are now being released towards the...
Since its inception in 1975 under the CID wing, the Meghalaya Police K9 unit has been an indispensable pillar of our security architecture. For 5 decades, the K9 units and their handlers have been our first line of defense against the invisible, the hidden scent of narcotics, the cold threat of explosives, and the trail of those who seek to evade justice.
Dogs into the K9 unit today. So these dogs have done a number of months of training in the State Force Training Center in Bangalore. They have been divided into trackers, slippers, both for explosives and for drugs, as well as assault dogs. So initially we were not thinking about assault dogs, but when we had had a number of exercises with the ATS. Now we realized that sport dogs are also required for the ATS. As such, sir, the sport dogs will be part of the ATS, while the rest will be divided up into different districts.
Meghalaya DGP Idashisha Nongrang on Saturday clarified that most young people identified in the recruitment probe linked to the banned Hunyotrep National Liberation Council or the HNLC had only initial online interactions and were far from active involvement. She said scrutiny of social media activity revealed many were limited to first-level contact, such as sharing epic cards, without progressing further. Her remarks followed the recent surrender of the outfit's area commander in eastern West Khasi Hills. She cautioned young people to weigh such promises against reality, adding that while some surrenders occurred last year, the situation remains uncertain.
But when we look at their social media interactions, because a lot of this recruitment, so to say, is happening on the social media platforms or the social media handles of the HNLC. When we look at the interactions, it is largely for a significant number of these young people, it is basically just the first interactions first, and the sending of the epic cards, etc. But they haven't really gone beyond that. So we obviously are taking we will be discussing which of these people who have done. There are some, of course, who've done much more than that, like the two who were arrested from Umsling, Banjop and Donbok. They of course had gone just much beyond just talking about joining the organization. They were involved in that ID case in Umsling. But like I was saying, the bulk of the people whose names have come out were largely just basically interactions on the social media platforms.
Most Reverend Leopoldo Girelli, Apostolic Nuncio to India and Nepal, made a landmark two-day visit to Tura, becoming the first Vatican ambassador to visit the Garo Hills. Welcomed by Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma, the Nuncio celebrated Holy Mass at the cathedral, paid respects at bishops' tombs, and attended a public reception at the Sacred Heart Shrine. In his address, Reverend Girelli praised the deep faith and contributions of the Catholic community in education, healthcare, and social development, urging families to encourage vocations to priesthood and religious life.
Makes this on the Mount, Jesus makes this distinctly clear that he has not come to abolish the law, but to bring it to fulfillment, to its deepest meaning. His mission is not cancellation, but completion. What had been reduced to legal calculation, he restores to living love. Over time, the law given by Moses had been surrounded by explanations and case studies. The question often became, how far must I go? What is the minimum required? Where are the limits? But in that process, something essential was missed. It is the heart of the law.
The Meghalaya State BJP and BJP State Kisan Morcha convened a meeting at Gladden Tower in Nongpo to elect office bearers for the district and Mandal Kisan Morchas across Ribhoi's 5 constituencies. The meeting was attended by State BJP Secretary Wankit Pochna, State Kisan Morcha President Durut Majau, General Secretary PS Toor, State Secretary Donlang Nongbri, and other party leaders. Jinon Sinkley was elected President of the Ribhoi District BJP Kisan Morcha, with D. Maring and Drowell Maring as Vice Presidents and Bindas CM along with Blanting Namsao as General Secretaries. The Mandal Kisan Morcha Presidents elected include Suni Mani from Nongpo, Simon Lapang from Jirang, Akbar Rongpet from Mauhati, Arbistar Khartang Mau from Umsning and Precious Mador of Umrai. A poor family in Kalapangti village under Umroi constituency received a new home yesterday, bringing immense joy to their household of 10 children. The house, built by Umroi MLA Damanbait Lamare, was formally handed over during a brief ceremony in the village. Constructed for E. Mukhim and N. Lingdo, the 6-room house also includes a toilet and electricity connection. The inauguration was attended by dignitaries such as S. Pakantain, officer in charge of Khapmara PIC, T. Rinja Rangbashnong of Kalapangti, among others. Speaking at the event, Lamare emphasized that elected representatives must prioritize helping families in poverty rather than focusing on personal gain.
Gongba anoi pi kene ke ying kal along pi ke pura ke jong pi. Ro mentagas ni kene ke ying ke sem ke jong pi kan phu kan phin bagi kerban skem ro ki khon ki ke jong pi nang ya ki por nang ya ki ski nang he bagi nang le bha ke jing im ke jong pi kin pule puthi kin ra hero ke nam ke purom ke jong ki me ki pa ke jong ki ya pi ik me ki pa.
Reinforcing its commitment to grassroots healthcare, the Glenmark Foundation, in partnership with the Society for Action in Community Health, launched the Health on Wheels Mobile Medical Unit in Umsning, Riboy district. The MMU will serve 20 villages, delivering essential healthcare services directly to residents. The initiative was flagged off by Umsning MLA Dr. Celestine Lingdo in the presence of Sampat Kumar, Principal Secretary to the Government of Meghalaya, along with district officials, health representatives and community leaders. Dr. Lingdo praised the effort, stressing the importance of rural healthcare outreach. Jaintia National Council President Sambormi Lingdo held a press conference today to respond to remarks made by BJP leader Sunil Deodar targeting Christianity. Lingdo emphasized that Christianity is rooted in faith and unity with Christ, not coercion or force, and urged respect for all religions in India. He reminded that Christians are equally Indian citizens governed by the same constitution and laws and should not be treated as outsiders. Quoting the scripture, he highlighted that persecuting Christians is akin to opposing God and appealed to organizations not to divide indigenous tribes by faith.
Being a Christian is a choice. It's not like somebody can force you to be a Christian. We respect all the religions in India, but we want others religions to respect us Christian. Because when we talk about a country, what is a country? A country is a land. It's all about the boundary and the land. But when it comes to Christianity, it's all about the soul. So just because we are Christian, you cannot say like we are not an Indian. If we are not an Indian, then who we are? The question. We have Aadhaar card to prove that we are Indian. So just because we believe in Jesus Christ, you cannot persecute us and you cannot give us like we are a threat to the world.
The Jaintia Students' Union issued a statement yesterday asserting the historical significance and recognition of the Jaintia community as a full tribe and not a sub-tribe. General Secretary N. Mukhim highlighted the Jaintia kingdom and currency, which existed centuries before British rule, underscoring the tribe's distinct identity. The clarification came in response to recent remarks by VPP President Arden Miller Basayomoit, who suggested excluding the Jaintia or the Panar community from the scheduled tribe reservation list. The JSU emphasized that such claims undermine the community's rightful status and historical legacy.
Kiwan-kiwan kinong nikmat dan kiwan-kiwan political party kin warok le kinong ilamian dan kisan halang uper hatram kelambi ya history yang berjaya group kawi berjaya group dalam tipi kecing sekian untuk koman mensoi pi kelambi nah ini hidup tak le ke sentimen yang group ni bah hawayoi pi pen emkan pi ketin le tentau kita kecing yok nong yang pi semen memang hidup kata untuk wo kelambi di bentai jing yok nong semen ye pi kelambi kon di bentai jing yok nong semen yang pi
Meghalaya is set to host a spice festival celebrating its globally recognized high-quality produce including Lakadong turmeric, ginger, black pepper, bay leaves, indigenous cinnamon variants and traditional spice blends. The festival will feature a curated spice pavilion with fresh and processed products, direct-to-consumer sales counters, live cooking sessions and farmer storytelling zones highlighting the journey from farm to market. A dedicated brand Meghalaya zone will promote unified state-supported branding, while cultural performances under the Chief Minister's Meghalaya Grassroots Music Project or the CM MGMP will add a vibrant artistic touch to the event.
So we are dealing with spices and honey as well. So I would like also to take this opportunity to thank the government of Meghalaya. It is through Magnolia, Dove and Prime who invited us to be part of this Meghalaya Spice Festival that is happened here in Mumbai in Geo Wall Drive.
So we are here in Mumbai for exhibition to showcase our products from Meghalaya. So here we have the very good product is our Lakadong turmeric. It has a high curcumin content in the wall. It starts from 7% to 9%.
A solemn pontifical high mass was held at the Sacred Heart Shrine today, presided over by Leopoldo Girelli, Apostolic Nuncio to India and Nepal during his visit to Garo Hills. The ceremony was attended by Conrad K. Sangma along with local leaders and thousands of devotees. Bishop Andrew R. Marak and Auxiliary Bishop Jose Chicaral joined in the celebration as the congregation gathered in prayer and devotion for the solemn occasion.
As we begin this sacred gathering,
Welcome to Garo Hills.
Ready?
A 27-year-old woman was killed in a hit-and-run accident at 12th mile along NH6 on the Guwahati to Shillong lane on Sunday afternoon. The victim, identified as Apsana Khatun of Dharamiyala Dalgaon Sialmari in Assam's Darang district, was reportedly struck by an unidentified vehicle around 3 p.m. The vehicle fled the scene immediately after the incident. She succumbed to her injuries on the spot. The body has been shifted to Civil Hospital Nongpo for legal formalities and an investigation will be conducted by the police. Let's move on to stories from the Northeast. Project Empathy has released Walk With Me, a powerful musical collaboration emerging from the Naga oral history. Stories of Empathy Journey. Created entirely by musicians from Nagaland, the song highlights the rich artistic depth of Northeast India while promoting compassion and shared humanity. Written and composed by Parasher Barwa and rendered by DRPO, the track carries a universal message of standing together with empathy. The music video is available on the YouTube channel of Project Empathy at Project Empathy Official. Here's a look at the national stories. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today dedicated and laid foundation stones for projects worth over 2,700 crore rupees in Puducherry, focusing on tourism, healthcare and infrastructure development. Highlighting the modernization of facilities at the Jawaharlal Institute of Postgraduate Medical Education and Research, he said improved roads, water supply and coastal infrastructure will enhance ease of living. In Madurai, Tamil Nadu, the Prime Minister also laid foundation stones and inaugurated projects worth over 4,400 crore rupees, stating they will strengthen connectivity, boost the economy and create jobs.
Vanakkam. I feel honored to be in the sacred and historic city of Madurai. I bow to Meenakshi Amman and Bhagavan Sundareshwar. Today's event marks a proud chapter in Tamil Nadu's development journey. We have laid foundation stones, inaugurated and dedicated to the nation projects worth over 4,400 crore rupees. These projects will transform connectivity, boost the economy, create jobs, and transform lakhs of people's lives.
And now for international stories. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has been reported killed in joint airstrikes by the United States and Israel, Iranian state media and multiple international outlets say, triggering a period of national mourning. Iran's defense minister and the chief of army staff were also killed in the strikes that targeted senior leadership and military installations in the capital. The developments mark a major escalation in the conflict and raise concerns about broader regional instability. The Ministry of External Affairs has issued an advisory urging Indian nationals in Lebanon to avoid unnecessary travel, remain vigilant and follow local safety guidelines amid the evolving regional situation. The embassy in Beirut has provided emergency contact details for assistance, and separately the Directorate General of Shipping has advised Indian seafarers to exercise utmost caution in view of the developments in Iran. Maritime stakeholders have been asked to closely monitor the safety of Indian crew members and coordinate with authorities. And now for sports news. The Water Sports Festival 2026 was successfully held yesterday at Shnongpadang village beside Umngot River as part of the Golden Jubilee celebrations of Amlarem Civil Subdivision. Organized by the Office of the Subdivisional Officer Civil Amlarem in collaboration with Seng Samla Shnongpadang Cultural and Sports Club and the District Sports Office West Jaintia Hills, the event was chaired by Dabbor Sinkrem and attended by Minister Lakman Rimboy as the chief guest. In his address, Rimboy highlighted the pride of completing 50 years of the subdivision, paying tribute to elders and stressing unity, discipline and cultural preservation.
Ka neka civil subdivision jangi Kap lapoy kisan putuligis nem kirta. Tangi kum kipriu, ngim la klem das kmen. Ya kajingwan nganaga subdivision gajongi. Hapo amlarem. Kabalapan suk yangi shibun. Ke nong shong shnong. National plan yakinung ikam gajongi. Ngila ban pendep. Hapo amlarem. But kibon gajiman toy. Kibang ilayo lang ba kajing don yang subdivision. But kajing don artat. Jangka blok gajongi. Hapo kanegatahan gajongi.
Here's the weather report. Let's first look at Tura, where the minimum temperature was 17 degrees Celsius and the maximum at 27 degrees Celsius, with relative humidity at 53%. Moving on to Shillong, the minimum temperature was 10 degrees Celsius with the maximum at 20 degrees Celsius and relative humidity at 59%. Meanwhile, in Jowai, the minimum temperature was 16 degrees Celsius and the maximum at 20 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity was 62%. The forecast in Tura, Shillong and Jowai say partly cloudy skies are most likely. And before we conclude, here is a quick recap of the headlines. Union Minister for Social Justice and Empowerment Dr. Virendra Kumar reviews CRC SRE Shillong today. Meghalaya Police expands its K9 unit from 7 to 37 dogs under the Dream Mission. Most Reverend Leopoldo Girelli, Apostolic Nuncio, makes a historic first visit to Garo Hills. Prime Minister Narendra Modi unveils mega development projects worth over 2,700 crore rupees in Puducherry. And India issues an advisory for nationals in Lebanon, seafarers amid regional tensions. And with that, we come to the end of today's news edition. Thank you for watching. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Have a good evening.
Worth over rupees 7,100 crore rupees in Puducherry and Tamil Nadu. Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Army Chief and Defense Minister killed in Israeli-US airstrike. US President Donald Trump warns Iran of inflicting more strikes. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu, Chairman of Standing Committee on Railways, discusses key railway projects in state. Sikkim Chief Minister Prem Singh Tamang lays foundation of 5-star hotel in Gangtok in a move to further boost tourism in the state.